When you guys got Devin Hester, man, oh man, did I hit the ceiling that, because I'm trying to figure out what is this team missing, and that was exactly it. And so out there at that camp over there in Bourbonnais, when you guys had public practices, man, I could hear audible gasps in the audience, man, every time this kid touched the ball.
Devin was not an easy guy to scout either. When you saw him return, that was easy. I mean, and there's one return that really just jumps out. And I think it was it wasn't his last year at Miami. I think it was his second last year. It was against Duke. He catches a punt, somewhere around and you can find it on YouTube, somewhere around the 10-yard line. And he must have made 8 guys miss in the course of that play. And you just saw the special in him. And that, and I had asked him one time, because and I said, how do you react as quickly as you do? And he said, when I got the ball in my hand, everything else seems to be in slow motion.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that's really a good way of describing it, because he just, he just reacts so quickly to guys that have the angle on him to make a play, yet he can figure out a way to juke them. And it's like he's got, eyes all around his head, not just in front, because he had an innate sense of feeling where opponents were coming from.
It's absolutely special. I'm thinking back on which highlight you talk. I think it's the one when he kind of did a pirouette, kind of did a 360 and took off down the field for like about a 65-yard return or something like that. I think.
Well, it was a touchdown return, but I mean, he did a couple figure eights and everything else in that. I mean, he just made the whole team miss, the whole Duke team. I mean, it was a hell of a return. And if you only saw one return, that was the one you needed to see, because it sold you. But it was like, where the hell are we going to play him? Because at Miami, he played 3 different positions in 3 years. He's a running back, a receiver, a defensive back. And Lovey went down there. The owners' meetings in March that year were down in Palm Beach. So it might have been Orlando, but I know it was Florida. So Lovey sneaks out one day, goes down to Miami, and works out Devin. And there was another defensive back we were interested in. He went in the first round. His name was Jennings. I don't remember his first name. Seattle took him in the first round. And so Lovey came back with, with, as far as Jennings, just a glowing review. Dave Tobe had to do a lot of the work on Devin as far as we wanted him as a return guy. But Lovey thought he could play corner in the league, but he was going to be a project. And that first year, he was like our number 5 corner. He played, but he didn't play a lot. But what happened that we turned him into a receiver the next year is that because, you got a limited roster size, you had 10 guys on the practice squad then versus 15 now or 16 now, is that Devin was the scout team receiver and nobody could cover his ass. So, and he was catching everything. So it was like, okay, this is a no-brainer. We're going to get the ball in his hand as a returner. We're going to get the ball in his hands as a receiver. But it took time for him to, learn how to make plays, to learn how to play the position comfortably, because he only played 1 year receiver in college and he wasn't a starter that 1 year in college.